Hey everybody, welcome to an extra special episode of 5 Minutes with Brian. I haven't posted one of these in a while. I've just been busy doing other things, trying to get caught up with work and all kinds of other things. So anyway, the reason I'm popping on right now like I am is I wanted to share with you all an experience. There will be more to come on this topic because we're still kind of shifting through the data. What do you get when you cross a couple of horror writers, a paranormal, very curious son, and a lunatic asylum? Well, you get some a fun-filled weekend. So this last weekend, myself and my fellow horror writer Brian Grover, and my son Thomas, we all went out to we went to the Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. However, we also went to a couple different places. We went to the Bigfoot Museum. We went to a mummy museum, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere. They also have a Lurch festival there. Apparently, the guy that played Lurch from the original Family Addams lived there. We went to a monster museum. We went to a bunch of different places, but we spent the night at the Trans Allegheny Asylum, Lunatic Asylum, also known as the Weston Hospital. It was pretty cool, actually. We're all big ghost buffs, and ghost hunters. So we went in there with some data. Of course, I've talked about it before. I'm empathic, so I can feel different energies around me. I brought a K2 meter, or not a K2 meter, a K2 meter. I also brought with me my phone for recording and taking pictures. I'm still getting caught up on sleep. But I also brought along my voice recorder as well to try and get some voices. And I'm still sifting through that data. But a couple of really interesting things did happen. The Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is in West Virginia, in Weston, Virginia. It takes a while to get to, about 4.5 hours from where I live. Totally worth it on the drive. It's the main building, and the main building is 4 floors. And it's giant. I don't know how many square feet are there, but it's giant. We were broken up. There was a bunch of people there. There was probably about, I don't know, 50 people there, but they're broken up into no, actually, there was 41. I know this because there were 3 groups of 10 and 1 group of 11, and they were all put on different floors. And we had a guide, and the guide would quickly run us through the floor, like the interesting aspects of that particular floor, and then turn us loose to do our investigations. Now, you would think with that many people we would be stumbling over each other, but we weren't. The reason I say that is because the floors are massive. At its height, I think there were thousands of people. I'm not kind of imprisoned there. It was kind of it's an awful place to really end up. They would do lobotomies with a nail through the eye to sever the frontal cortex. It was an awful procedure that isn't done anymore. Thank God for that. But I will tell you that we got some really interesting evidence. My son, for example, and I will do a video with evidence a little bit later on, but I'm gonna need a little bit more than 5 minutes with Brian to really cover it all. In particular, the video that my son got was of a shadow figure, and I've always sort of, kind of okay, shadow figure, whatever, until I actually saw one being captured for in real life. People are going to look at this video and say, oh, well, it's the shadow of somebody standing in front of him. There was nobody in front of him at the time. I know this because I was standing directly behind him. He pans with the camera like that. And as a matter of fact, I have to move behind him just to make sure I'm not in the shot. But he does get a picture of something. I got a picture of what I think might have been a shadow figure. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not ready to call it on that evidence, just because I haven't gone through and really chipped through the evidence yet. Yeah, put it up here. You guys can take a look. But anyway, Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. It was very cool. For those of you who are interested in ghost hunting, it's well worth going and checking out. We conducted AVP sessions, photograph sessions, and it was a great time. If anything, it was a bucket list item checked off for me. If you want to find out more, check out their website right here. I know they appreciate visitors because the money that you pay to go on these investigations actually helps support the foundation. It's privately owned, and it's what goes towards the renovations of the building. And unfortunately, the sad part is these old asylums, which were basically built to resemble castles, they disappear from the landscape because yes, they have a horrid history. But I'm a fan of let's not destroy history. Let's make sure we preserve it in a way where we can point to it and actually talk about the bad things that happen there, so we as human beings never do these things again. But anyway, check them out. I know they'd appreciate the visit. It's well worth going and seeing. All right, more on this topic later, but that's the update for now. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.